Okay, back to the Jeep Grand Cherokee WK2 drawer system that I've got set up for my Jeep. Now, I was asked recently if I could show a few close-ups of the actual system and the dual battery. So this is basically what I've got at this stage. So this side I've created as a shelf that's good enough for my camp stave to go under. Secondly, I've got my Pressure Perfect system, which is this system here. Basically it's all plumbed in, so this gives me the tyre pressures of the vehicle. Plumbs in down the side, two little air outlets here so I can plug on my air lines, go straight onto the tyres two at a time, inflate or deflate. Obviously got a fire extinguisher there. The drawers, which are actually absolutely packed, as you can see, so there's not a lot of room in them. Both sides pretty much packed up with stuff. So just to show you what I've done underneath, I'm just going to put this down a second. Right, so here we are hinged up, as you can see, drawers fully supported, no problem at all. Now clearly when the fridge is in place on the left side, I cannot open the drawers like this. I can't open them at all actually, but my fridge is only held down with the tie down points, so easily removed, and generally speaking I generally don't need to get under here unless it's an absolute emergency, in which case I just lift the fridge out. So what I've done, okay, so this is my switch panel that I mentioned I was going to do. Let's just shut these down, they all seem to have popped up. Okay, so the switch panel sits in there, giving me both outlets of the main battery and the auxiliary battery. Obviously my two outlets there at the side here. USB charger, and then lights across the power switches across the back. Down inside I've gone with a clear bit of perspex just at the side here, with all my wiring running through all nice and neat in conduit. Fuse box obviously to protect everything, and then all the wire neatly routed around the back of the battery there. Compressors mounted in the boot. It's got a few odds and sods spares in here. So it's an AGM deep cycle 110 amp hour, 110 amp deep cycle battery. As you can see, the frame that I've built, all covered in foam, is just basically two squares held together with two squares held together with four uprights all the way around, and then an extra section for the lid, which what I've done here is just put in a couple of outriggers to line up with the mounting points for the actual drawer system. So it's quite nice and sturdy, it doesn't move at all side to side, there's no side to side movement on it at all. And I've still got a shed load of space under here, which I'm currently not actually using for much more than first aid kits, drag chains, spare winch dampener, and a few spares down the bottom there. So what powers the AGM battery? Well, I'll show you that as well. So coming around this side. Okay, if we can see in here, and there you go. So you've got your projector DC charger just mounted to the back of the drawer system just there, and that will give you power to the auxiliary battery taken from the alternator, and it just runs 25 amps. So 25 amps goes in and charges as soon as you start the engine. As of yet, I've not had any problems with it. It's always fully charged the battery on very short trips. Of course, AGMs, they take the charge very quickly anyway. I've also put an auxiliary Anderson socket just here, and from this socket I can plug in solar panels. So if I'm camping for any length of time, solar panels can be plugged in and obviously power the battery. The projector does have a facility to have a hardwired solar panel as well up on the roof, but I'm not planning on doing that because I need my roof rack too much. This car's not actually that big inside, and therefore I need the space on the roof. Anything else to see? Well, that's about it really. The Anderson plug allows me to power a travel buddy as well, and shutting it down just as simple as coming down like that. And then the catches that I've got, basically what I've done is 2 catches. There's the first one, and the second one I've put a little screw in there just so I can hold it out of the way to make it a one-hand job rather than a two-hand job, which was what it was initially. I've also put little plugs, so you can probably just about see them, at the end of the bar work, just so that they're nicely neat and trimmed off nicely. So there you have it. That's my setup. Enables me to take a fridge on this side, camp stove obviously underneath that's with me all the time, and obviously the inflation system that I've got is built into it. I do need to replace this plastic which broke very early on, as you can see, with carbon fibre to match this, and obviously far stronger, there's no chance of that breaking. So I'll get another sheet of carbon fibre and just replace that bit. But yeah, that's it, she's all good to go. Anyway, give you some ideas on how you might want to do it yourself.